So I did a Q&A a while back. I think this is before I had even started out my YouTube channel, but this was when I had come out with my first IGTV, and this was my first Q&A that I put out on my Instagram story, and it was initially supposed to go up on my Instagram, but I thought, why not try refilm it and re-answer those questions, because I never really did get to addressing those questions that you guys had. But it is currently 9:04, and I thought, why not do it with some wine tonight. I'm also breaking rules because I don't have time to chill my wine, so we're gonna put some ice in that. But let's get started with these questions. See if I still know how to do this. I haven't done this in forever. Oh, I have one. Oh gosh. Still got it. Wine. Okay, let's cheers. Best relationship advice. So I would say that the best relationship advice for both parties is that you both are responsible for creating your own happiness. And I think a lot of people jump into relationships expecting the other person to make you happy. And the truth is that it is not that person's responsibility. So I always say this is that you are responsible for your own happiness. So when you get into a relationship, if you're not ready, or if you haven't even taken the steps to really creating that for yourself before getting into a relationship, then please save the both of you guys time and don't get involved with somebody, because I think that it is very selfish. And I'm not saying I haven't done it, I've definitely done this, but I think that it is definitely selfish when you jump into a relationship and you are expecting the other person to make you happy. It's not their responsibility, it's your responsibility. And you know, I've heard this before, that having something in your life is a bonus, you know? So to me, I look at it like that. Like, I'm whole on my own, and anything else that I involve myself with, say I get into a relationship, I get involved with somebody, it isn't going to make me who I am. It isn't going to create that happiness for me. Yes, it's going to add to the happiness, and that's what I think every relationship should be, is a bonus. You know, it's adding into, it's supposed to add value into your life, you know, but it's not supposed to create that for you. So I would say that the best relationship advice is that you need to know, and both parties need to know, that you guys both are responsible for your own happiness. So I always say that when you have two people who are whole on their own and they get together, it is going to mesh so well. The relationship will flow so much better because they're not expecting the other person to fill them with happiness, you know, like they're whole on their own. So they really are just adding value into each other's lives. But when you jump into a relationship with somebody and you're expecting somebody else to give that to you, there will always be a constant battle, because getting involved with somebody who isn't whole on their own, you guys will always struggle. There will always be problems, and it is always going to be a losing battle. And that's how I look at it, is that if you don't love yourself, if you expect your partner to have to give that to you, then it is a losing battle for the both of you. So I would say that best relationship advice is to know that your happiness is 100% your responsibility. How do you accept change? I don't think that you can easily accept change. I don't think anybody will openly and willingly accept change. The first stages of change, I don't think so. I think a lot of it is denial, a lot of it is fear, a lot of it is, oh my God, let me go and run back to my comfort zone. So, because of all of these feelings in the beginning stages of change, I don't think that we fully accept it in the beginning. I do, however, believe that in order to accept it, you have to just go along for the ride. You have to have it in you to say, I'm tired of the old shit. I'm tired of my old life. And so I'm ready to take on this uncomfortable feeling. I'm ready for the unknown. You know, you have to have it in you to really accept change. And until you have that in you, I don't think that anybody is really going to be ready for it. You have to just have this willingness in you and knowing that you're tired of your old life. You're tired of whatever wasn't serving you, you know? So for me, when I had to accept change in my life, the number one thing that allowed me to accept change was that when I was going through the beginning stages of change, there was so much hurt that was involved in it. And when I was going through all of this hurt, I kept telling myself, do not ever forget this feeling. Don't ever forget how you feel in this moment. And me remembering those moments allowed me to tell myself, screw that. I'm never going to go back to that because I remember how painful that was. I remember how much that hurt, and I don't ever want to feel like that again. So it took a lot of me saying, I'm sick of my own shit. I'm sick of doing this to myself for me to want to accept change. So you need to embrace the feelings, go along for the ride, and you have to know that what's on the other side is always going to be better than what you're leaving or what you're trying to move on from. And I don't think a lot of us see this. I think a lot of us are like, well, what if I end up going through all of this change and what's on the other side isn't as great as what was on that side, what the side that I'm trying to grow from, the side that I'm trying to leave. The truth is that you're never going to know until you actually take the steps into accepting change, letting change happen for you. And from my experience and from when I watch, other people's experiences, I have never heard one person's story who ever regretted change. So how do you accept it? You just need to go with it. Don't go back. Have the willingness, the willpower to want the change for yourself. And I think that's just really what it is. I hope my hair doesn't look crazy right now because I've been watching some videos back and I'm like, what the heck? How did I not? See what I mean? How do you know if someone is toxic for you? I would say that you know if a relationship is toxic or if a person is toxic for you when they don't have any boundaries, meaning they don't respect anybody's boundaries. And I also think when they're very disrespectful, either to your face, behind your back, whatever it may be, it's definitely a toxic relationship. But a big thing of me recognizing if anybody is toxic in my life is when they bring out bits and pieces of myself that I don't even recognize. This is how I put it when I tell anybody is like, it brings out the ugliness in me. It brings out sides of me that I didn't even know exist. So that's how I know that something is not good for me, is when it's bringing out this ugliness that I don't even like to experience. It's bringing out this ugliness that I don't even ever want to see again, you know? So for me, you know, somebody's toxic for you when they just bring out parts of you that you're not proud of, parts of you that don't make you happy. And that's just from experience, but that's just my take on recognizing if somebody is toxic for you. What is the best tip that you have for life? The best tip that I wish this is like, we should teach this shit in school, but the best tip for life is to make yourself happy first. And everybody preaches it and everybody says it, but there is literally a small amount of people who actually live by this. When you learn how to create happiness for yourself, it makes your life so much easier and it makes it so much more enjoyable. So I always tell everybody, you know, there is no such thing as being selfish when it comes to your happiness, because once you make yourself happy, your life just gets easier. It really, really does. And nobody wants to watch somebody mope around or not be able to live the life that they want to live, you know? Why would you want that for yourself? Why would the people who love you, who you surround yourself with, want that for you? So I always say that you need to make yourself happy first, because once you do, everything else in your life falls in place. And I'm not saying that a magic genie comes and you get all your wishes fulfilled, because that is not what happens. You don't get everything that you want. But I am saying that you are able to create a life that you will love. You are able to create a life with purpose. And so happiness is key. It's number one in my book. And it doesn't matter if you're having a shitty day, a shitty week, or somebody tries to, you know, rain on your parade. If you're happy with yourself as an individual, that shit really does not matter. You know how to just brush it off and be like, okay, whatever. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. So it is what it is. I'm moving on. My day is gonna go on and I'm fine. What do you do when you're feeling overwhelmed? So I would say that I do a couple of things. I meditate for one, and a lot of people talk about breath work. So I've actually been trying that out and it works. I am starting to really learn how to just take deep breaths, and it really does calm me. It can bring me from stress level 100 to 0 in like less than a minute. So taking deep breaths really do work. I also do Reiki. So when I know that I'm really off, a sign for me is when I start to get very easily frustrated or angry and my temper is really bad, because I'm normally not like that. So I know that this is a sign for me that I need to go and recenter myself, ground myself. And so I normally get it done about once a month. And I go to Kailua Massage Therapy and I see Kathy. So if you guys are ever interested, please go and check her out. She is amazing. And it's pretty much just energy work. And let me tell you that I could be so stressed out. And it's about an hour. I think it's 45 minutes or an hour, I forget. But once I leave that appointment, I feel so good. I feel like I took a freaking happy pill. It's crazy. So it really will just center you back. It'll ground you back where you need to be. I love it. If you guys are ever interested in doing Reiki, please, please, please try it out. If you've ever thought about it, do it, because it is probably the best thing I have ever done for myself. And when I get overwhelmed, this is what my outlet is. So anyways, that wraps everything up for my questions, and I just wanted to thank all of you guys for, you know, watching my videos, supporting me. It means a lot to me that you guys are coming along with me for this journey, but I am going to try my best to keep these videos up. It's been a little hard lately with school. It's been a little overwhelming, but I can't wait to be able to push more content out during spring break, during the summertime. So other than that, I'm gonna just say goodnight, and I will see you guys in my next video.